Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Eric. It's our first podcast tonight. We're going to be doing, talking a little bit about some SEC football. I'm going to go ahead and pull my guest speaker in here, Showmaker. What's up, buddy?
Oh, man. Well, I can say there's only 3 or 4 times a year now where I drink. And a consistent theme is the Georgia-Alabama game.
Yeah, wow, man. What a game. I mean, it may not have came out Georgia's way, but I mean, what a hell of a game that was. I'm telling you.
I mean, the thing that is good and bad, actually bad as a football team, but okay as a fan, is most of those games that we've lost close, you felt like Georgia was winning and had control at some point. Even when we were winning, it never felt like Georgia was in the driver's seat of that game. So it wasn't as heartbreaking,
Right.
as others, you know. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about. One, I'm officially, and I've been defending Mike Bobo for a long time, I'm officially on the fire Mike Bobo train. I'm officially there.
You're there?
I'm there. How you going to put a freshman Taylor out there on that play, man? I just, why didn't you go with a junior or senior? I mean, you guys got to do this, and he's just starting. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I know. Gunnar Stockton threw an amazing pass to him, and he just dropped it. But there again, Alabama had a pass down the field same way with Ryan Williams, and he missed it too. So it's kind of one of those things.
I get it. Players miss it, but I'm saying I would have put it in somebody with experience's hand. And if they drop it, they drop it. It happens. I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the play calling.
Right.
And what was that last second play? What play was that? What was Bobo thinking? Like, you go for it on 4th, and I get it. I'm defending Kirby. I get it. You've lost so many overtime games to Bama in overtime. I get not wanting to go for it.
Right.
Okay. But why is that I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but why is that the play that you call?
Yeah, I know a lot of Georgia fans were upset about the 4th down and they run the ball instead of kicking the field goal to tie the game. You know, there's a lot of controversy there to talk about, you know, but some other games that went on this weekend were LSU and Ole Miss. What do you think about that game? A lot of people had LSU over Ole Miss at home, but it was quite the opposite with their backup quarterback. You know, he showed up and showed out, didn't he? Ole Miss.
Give me my flowers. Give me my roses. I said it. I'm the only one that said it. I said LSU might be a little overrated for the simple fact they played Clemson. And I said, do we really know how good Clemson is? And Clemson's falling off a damn cliff. And they played a miserable Florida team that can't do nothing. And I said, hey, look out. I'm going to tell you, Ole Miss needs to be the team y'all look out for this year, not LSU. I said it at the beginning of the year, and everybody thought Showmaker was crazy. But been called that before, and I've been right.
That's
but
true.
I will say this. Go ahead. You good? Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what do you think was the biggest takeaway from the Ole Miss LSU game to you? Like, what opened your eyes to that game?
What opened my eyes, I was not surprised by Lane Kiffin's offense. We all know he's got a prolific, fast-going offense since he's been at Ole Miss.
Right.
We all know how he likes to do offense. But the way the defense, dude, like I thought LSU's defense was still going to do something. No, it was Ole Miss's defense. Like, he's got that defense rolling. That's kind of what threw me off, because last couple of years, like, he got the offense rolling. He had Dart. Now he's got the backup quarterback. The primary quarterback got injured, and the backup looks better. I mean, the primary quarterback's not getting his job back. The backup is now the primary because he looks amazing. But the defense, Lane Kiffin finally found himself a defense, I feel like.
Yeah,
Because why I sit here and
you're
because why
talking
I sit
about
here and joke.
you're talking about Chambliss, the quarterback
Yeah,
for Ole Miss. Yeah, he
yeah,
showed up and showed out, man. He put what he put up? He 314 yards, man. 23 for 39 with one touchdown, one interception. I mean, to be that, to be that young and for them to put him out there, he showed up and showed out against a really good LSU defense.
yeah. And what I was trying to say, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry about that. I just don't know when to
No,
shut
no,
the
no,
hell
you're
up.
good.
But what I was gonna say is now understand. I'm not saying LSU is bad. I'm just saying I didn't think they were what everybody was predicting.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thing. I was saying I think Ole Miss is more of that team. And yeah, dude. I mean, LSU's defense is nothing to snuff at, dude. Their defense is legit. I don't know about the offense, but the defense is legit for real. And Chambliss came out there. If I'm saying his name, if I'm not, oh well, forgive the Southern
No,
accent.
that's right.
But the thing about it is, man, he came out there, he showed out. And all I heard about him when he was the backup from people was, oh, he can run. He's a playmaker, but he's accuracy. Well, all I saw was all damn day. So, yeah, yeah. But Kiffin finally found a defense, and my takeaway is Brian Kelly. I've always felt he's overrated. I understand the first year he went to the SEC title game. I understand that, but those were somebody else's players. Those were not his players. So I don't know. And what also gets me is you had Jaden Daniels. We saw how well he did in the NFL. You couldn't go to the playoffs with Jaden Daniels?
And he won the Heisman?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But
I mean,
if you've seen the past couple of weeks though with LSU, they played a like a lower ranked team. I'm not quite sure what team that was, but they struggled against them too. So
yeah, the first quarter of that game, like the first and second quarter, the first half, yeah, they really struggled.
yeah,
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they hadn't beat anybody, but Clemson's mediocre. Florida sucks. I
yeah.
mean, Florida's down there somewhere just hoping that they can get enough money to, figure out something.
Yeah, and when it comes to Florida, we're gonna talk a little bit more about them and their the coaching
Yeah,
too a little bit later on in the show.
that's why I saved that little bit.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Texas A&M, dude. I'm excited about Texas A&M this year.
yeah.
Um, that they've never, since they joined the SEC, they've never had a really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that defense was lighting them up though. That,
Oh,
that
against
defense was not a joke by A&M.
oh yeah, against Auburn.
Yeah, I
Wow,
mean,
yeah. Well, see, Auburn, they're pretty decent on offense. I mean,
yeah,
they got the transfer in Arnold from Oklahoma from last year, so they've got a pretty good running quarterback, dual threat quarterback. So it's just they got to get stuff going defensively. Defensively, they're struggling, dude.
defensively, I mean, it's hard to stop a nosebleed, but they couldn't stop a water bleed. I mean, let's just be honest. Their defense is soft as one ply tissue.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, it's like going into Dollar General having to use the bathroom. It's sad.
You got that
I
right.
personally hold it because I don't, I'm picky about which bathrooms I use. Dang it.
Um,
But yeah.
but let's talk about some this week's stuff. We went over
Okay.
what we did, talked about last week or games last week, but this week let's talk about an underdog, right? You got all these games going on this week, and Vanderbilt at Alabama, I think is going to be a really interesting game. The underdog in this one's definitely Vanderbilt because they're playing at Bryant-Denny. So what are your thoughts on it? Do you actually think Vanderbilt has a shot to go in there and upset Alabama this weekend?
My thing of it is I feel like they have a shot, but I don't see it happening because if you look at Kalen DeBoer's record, he's got a good record at home. It's on the road in spots where you think they would just overwhelm the other team to where I don't know if him as a coach doesn't hype them up and doesn't organize it as well, or if it's one of those things where the players don't get up as much for underestimated teams on the road because they're like, oh, we're going to beat them no matter what, because we're
Right.
Alabama.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is because for the big games on the road, Alabama does get up like Georgia. They were there for that, but last year, Vandy on the road, Oklahoma on the road. I don't like Vandy's chances basically because it's at home for Alabama.
Okay, so if Vanderbilt were to try and pull this off, how do you think they would go about doing it? What would they need to do to go about doing it to pull off this win?
I think they're going to have to pull some trick plays, and I think they're mostly going to have to use the quarterback's going to have to run a lot, and their running game's going to have to be good. And I think they're going to have to outscore them because I don't think their defense can hold up. They're going to have to outscore them.
Okay. So, yeah, you talked about the rushing attack for Vanderbilt against Alabama.
Yeah, have to be up there.
Looking at the game prior, Alabama and Georgia. So, Georgia put up almost 200 and something yards rushing against Alabama. So, if Vanderbilt can get their running game going, I think they got a good shot.
Yeah, true. Hey, I'm gonna have to pause momentarily. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Okay, you're good. Go ahead. So we're gonna wait on Chuck here, but I wanted to talk to you guys more about the podcast here. This is our first ever podcast that we're doing tonight, and I'm glad that you guys are here. We're just doing like a little test run tonight, and then, kind of weeks going on, we're going to kind of, get more into it, dive a little bit deeper into, more of the SEC play. So, if you can, come check us out on Facebook, TikTok, and we're also on YouTube tonight. So, we're just building us up. We got another guest that's going to be joining us in the next few weeks or so. So that's what we're doing here. Going down the rundown of next week's games or this week's games, we'll talk a little bit about that right now. So, we got, obviously Georgia is going to be playing Kentucky at home this weekend. You got Texas and Florida are going to play. Arch Maney's going to go down to Florida and see what he can do against, Florida and their offense. So, okay, here he is. We're back. I was just giving him a rundown of the games
dogs
going
were
on this
acting
week.
Crazy. I had to let dogs out.
Oh,
Literally.
you're good. Yeah, you're good. But back to Vanderbilt and Alabama. You're still going with Alabama in that one though.
I am going with Bama.
Okay.
Like I said, because it's at home.
Gotcha.
Kalen DeBoer's record at home is good, regardless of the road. His home record is good.
Okay. So some of the headlines this week that I've been looking at, obviously Sam Pittman got fired at Arkansas, and they're actually bringing Bobby Petrino back in as head coach there. What are your thoughts on that?
Kirby, this is called a cell phone. Hey, Sam, come coach this line. This is awful. This is sad. Come coach this line. It sucks.
Yeah, he actually left Georgia to go to Arkansas. So
I know, and I'm
call
really
him back. Come on back, buddy. We'll take him.
Come on back. We'll take you back and then fire Bobo. But
you'll definitely take him back.
I don't think Petrino is going to be, the tenured coach there. But I did find this out though today. The athletic director has told Petrino anybody on the staff he wants fired, he will fire him. They fired the defensive coordinator as of today.
Okay.
12 o'clock.
Okay.
So to me, that says maybe they're going to give Bobby Petrino a full chance to be head coach over there again. Because he
Yes.
had good records. Now they fired him over ethical reasons. I'm not going to get into that on here. People can look it up for themselves. I mean,
Right.
I know the backstory, but people can look it up. But let's discuss some names that
Yeah.
I've been hearing. Kay Womack, Alabama defensive coordinator. I've been hearing his name thrown out a lot. I've been hearing the head coach of Tulane thrown out a lot. Those are really the two names. I've heard the head coach of Memphis. Now, the reason I'm saying who they're the head coach of, because I don't know everybody's name. Okay. I'm not an encyclopedia.
Right.
But those are some names that I've heard mentioned. You know, I've heard maybe, like that's the names that I've heard basically. Those three names.
Okay. Well, on that, we could talk a little bit about some of the coaching crisis going on this year in the
Okay.
SEC. Obviously, we know Billy Napier. He's on the top of the list of coaches that is on the coaching carousel. So
Like all they need is $2 million to buy them out. That's all they need.
two,
Listen, two. It ain't a Jimbo Fisher buyout. They just need two.
right? Absolutely.
But
And
look, as a Georgia fan, I'm gonna pay them to keep him. Okay, I'm gonna write him a check tomorrow.
go
Keep the
ahead.
man. I'm gonna write him a big fat check.
And
Keep the
obviously,
man.
we put down. You and I have discussed Hugh Freeze possibly being on the coaching hot seat this year
Yeah,
too.
I don't think it's gonna be this year because I think with
No.
with NIL they got to pay players and coaches and the whole staff now. So I think it's probably going to be a next year fire for Hugh Freeze. But Auburn is not patient with anybody.
Right.
So they could surprise us all and say, you know what, we're going to do what A&M did and get you up out of here. We don't care about the money.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the state of Alabama, Auburn, not to be mean to the school of Alabama, but Auburn is the one that really has the deep pockets. I've lived there before. You live there now. We both know it.
Right. Yeah.
Auburn is the prep. My daddy drives a Mercedes 2029 type stuff. Alabama is, my dad drives the F-150. I mean, nothing wrong with it.
No. Not at
But
all.
I'm middle class myself, so I get it. But I'm just saying that's the facts. Auburn's got the money to burn if they so choose to.
So we're saying Hugh Freeze next year, but Sam Pittman, I kind of seen this coming, but I would have never thought they probably would have done it like mid-season.
I thought they were going to do it end of last year. That's honestly what I thought.
Yeah, same here.
And then you can lose to Notre Dame, but you can't lose like that at home to the shiny helmet.
The shiny helmet.
The football Rudy and football, I mean, so I don't see where that's acceptable in any way, shape, or form.
But going into some of the games that are going to be played this week, obviously the 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock game, Eastern, Central, whatever time zone you're in. Kentucky at Georgia. That's going to be 11 o'clock Central time, Eastern 12 kick. What are your thoughts about this game against Kentucky? You think Georgia will bounce back on this one?
I think it will be one of the best games Georgia has played against Kentucky under Kirby Smart.
Okay.
Because it's the first time we played Kentucky where the week before, we really felt like it was close, but we feel disrespected, demoralized, especially killing the 33 home wins in a row, 32, whatever it was that Kirby
32,
had.
32 home wins. Yep.
You killed that. You broke Georgia's spirit. We feel disrespected. We should have played better, yeah, but we feel disrespected, demoralized, all that. I have a feeling all that high emotion is going to roll in there because it's at Kentucky, right?
No, it's at Georgia.
Oh, then yeah, damn sure they're going to beat the hell out of them.
Okay.
I mean, I'm telling you, this is going to be a whooping. It's going to be an ass whooping. Let me just put it that way.
You think Georgia's going to run the ball?
At belt to ass. Belt to ass.
So how many rushing yards do you think Georgia will throw down in this one? More than 200?
I'm not really a stats guy, and you know this about me.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I think it's going to be close to 300, if not 4.
Okay. That's what I thought you were going to go with here.
If they go run heavy, I just feel like I don't feel like Kentucky's a horrible team, but I feel like Kentucky's just in the wrong spot. Because usually when we play Kentucky, it's after a team, we beat them. It's somebody we were supposed to beat. We beat them by a good number of points,
Mm-hmm.
But we're going in there they're coming here. My bad. They're coming here. We just lost at home. And you know how territorial Kirby is about losing at home. I mean, he lost to South Carolina years ago, and it's been belt to ass ever since at home.
That's right.
So I have a feeling it's going to be ugly. I mean, I'm thinking like 14 to 34. 34 to 14 or something.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking like 42 to 21. I'm not really giving an actual prediction, but I think it'll be a big gap game.
Okay. Well, and the next game we're going to talk about is Texas at Florida. That's going to be the 3:30 kick. It's going to be right after the Georgia game. What are your thoughts on this?
Why is Texas still ranked? Archie Manning looks like crap. The offensive line looks like crap. The defense ain't. They're middle of the road at best. I get Texas has done nothing but win, but like we always say, who have they played? Nobody. Florida's still nobody. I'll give the edge to Texas only because I think Stark is a lot better of a coach than Billy Napier. But now this is in the swamp, right?
Yes.
I do believe. Okay.
Yes.
If it was, let me put it this way. If they had a different quarterback and a different coach, I would lean the other way because I'm not impressed by Arch Manning at all. Not impressed with the offense. Defense is middle of the road at best. Florida, on the other hand, Florida they're just falling apart at the seams. They can't do anything right. Can't get nothing right. They played decent in the first half against LSU. They played decent the first half.
Mm-hmm.
But in the second half, not only was stuff wrong calls were made, busted coverage on defense, it was also seemed like luck didn't go their way. But you know what? I'm going to switch my mind on this one. Actually, I'm going to take Florida.
What, really? Okay.
Now, I'm not going to take Florida because I believe in Billy Napier. I'm not taking it because I believe in the quarterback. Florida still has an okay defense. I'm taking it because, one, that Texas offensive line is just piss poor.
Right.
They really are. And then I'm also taking it because in the swamp, I don't think Texas hadn't been to the swamp. They ain't been here that long.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a very intimidating place to play. 2 young teams, 2 quarterbacks who everybody was talking were going to be really good. They're not.
Right. Both of them were Heisman contenders. Look at them now. One team's 1-3 and the other's 3-1. But
Yeah, and I think why I think this might be your classical perfect trap game. Give me something low. Give me something dirty. Something that just it's a slobber knocker all day.
So you're going Florida.
I'm going Florida. How about 17-13?
17-13.
Low score. Just something out the mud. It might be a 14-10 game,
Okay.
Now, I will say this. If this game gets higher than like both of them having 20-something points or something, then, I could see Texas because when you talk about scoring high, when they get it together, that's what Stark likes to do. But I just don't see that happening. I just see this being a dirty, tooth and nail type game, biting kneecaps,
Right.
Bite them in the earlobe, whatever.
Well,
just
yeah. Slobber knocker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So,
what I see.
My predictions on the Georgia-Kentucky game is going to be, I think Georgia's going to win 35-14 against Kentucky. It's gonna be close at the beginning. Georgia's going to start fast, but then I think they're going to go away with it. Like in the second half, it's not even going to be a competition. When it comes to Texas and Florida, I'm taking Texas, and I'm going to go 28-14, but I think it's going to be a really, really good game at the beginning.
So you're taking Texas 14-10, you said?
28-14.
28-14. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Like I said, if Texas can manage to actually see, the thing about this is the Texas. Well, first off, hey, Kentucky, belt to ass, baby, belt to ass.
What are we doing with the belt?
Belt to ass, Kentucky.
Okay.
Payback, baby. Look here, though. The way that I see this, right, is I see what you're saying. Like I was saying, if Stark gets them boys rolling down there in Gainesville and it becomes a high-scoring game, then, yeah, I see Texas totally winning it. But I think Florida can keep them honest enough because of the offensive slow start. Now, Arch Manning in this game could all of a sudden start being that development from a developmental player to that real starter. We don't know when that's going to happen.
We ain't seen it all season yet.
Yeah. I trust Stark to make it happen because he's great with quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But when? Is it going to be, the last game of the year? Is it going to be second to last? Is it going to be next year? Because Art said he's not going in the draft in 2026. But I get what you're saying, though. I could definitely see that. But I think Texas has to find that rhythm to make it a high-scoring game, because if it's close, I like Florida's chances. Just like I said when me and you were talking on the phone the week before the Georgia-Bama game, I said, if it's close, we're toast. That's how I feel about Texas.
Yep.
Because look at every game they won last year under Quentin Ewers. It was a shootout. The games that they lost were to Georgia, when Georgia was able to slow them down and confine them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's what Stark likes to do. He likes to spread them out and Arch run a little bit and throw the ball. Run a little bit, throw the ball. Well, can you make it happen? Because like I said, that Florida defense is probably the best part of them.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens this weekend. Vanderbilt at Alabama. We talked about this earlier. You're going Vanderbilt, or you're going Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your score prediction?
But understand, I'm just going to give a prediction on this because we've already talked about it. But understand, I'm going Alabama 28-14 or 28-20. It's not going to, I don't think it's going to be a disrespectful level, because I think Vanderbilt will play them close. I just think them being at home is just too much.
Yeah. I'm going 35-21 Alabama.
Okay.
Mississippi State at Texas A&M. And that's going to be the nightcap, 6:30, 7:30 Eastern. So
I don't know how I feel about this game. This is one of those games I have a hard time with, because Tennessee almost beat Georgia, and then Mississippi State almost beats Tennessee. So, is Mississippi State better than we think, or is Tennessee maybe a little worse than we think? I mean, kind of got me, head scratching over here. A&M, though, I think with Mike Elko, I mean, that offense, the defenses finally came together. A&M's had some good offenses, but they finally found a coach who knows both sides of the ball. So give me A&M because of the defense.
Okay, yeah, they are playing at Kyle Field too. So
yeah, I did look at that. Yeah, that too. I'm thinking A&M by 10. So, like, 31-21. That's what I'm thinking.
21-31? Okay.
31-21. A&M. For
All
the
right.
win, baby.
Okay. See, statistically, I've been looking at all these stats on both teams, and they look very close. So, yeah, I'm also gonna go Texas A&M. I'm gonna go 35-21 on that one too. So I think it's gonna be like you said, the defense is gonna be pretty good this year, or in this game particularly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm looking to
And
go
that's,
with on that one.
and a lot of people always have ranked Texas A&M high and said this will be the year, this will be the year. But none of the other coaches at A&M ever really found them a defense. Now they have a good defense, a comparable offense. I mean, if they can just keep putting it together, man, this might be the year for them because Texas is looking down and Texas A&M is looking up.
Yes, and I believe they play each other right at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're rivals, just like Texas and Oklahoma. They're rivals.
Yeah, the next few weeks too, we're also going to be talking a little bit about the changes coming for the rivalry games,
Mm-hmm.
which some fans are going to be mad and some fans will be all right with it. So
I like who Georgia got though. They got the 3 they should have got, but we're gonna save that for a later date.
that's right.
That's a discussion for another time, but we're gonna get to it for sure.
But with that,
What's-
we're gonna head out from here. Thank you guys for watching tonight, and we'll be back either next Monday or Tuesday. We'll let you guys know on the socials, but come check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.